Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures in Wall Street. Hey, I'm really excited. We're on these networks. We're getting streamed on TV, on Roku, DirecTV, as well as Lundell, Stu Peters. So we're excited about the exposure we're getting. Also, before I get started, be sure to like and subscribe our new Rumble channel. It is our Rumble channel that is basically our standalone. We are basically showing you how I live my life, just open curtain. I even have like worship sessions when I'm warming up my voice before I go on Sundays. We talk about random things, show my wife's road rage, kids, sporting events, and just travel with us. So you can follow us on Scriptures in Wall Street on Rumble. Click and like, subscribe there. It helps monetize this channel. And if you like the content that I'm creating, then definitely I'll see you there. But before we get started, I want to say my disclosure here. As you guys know, I am a financial advisor, but everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. Do not take investment advice standalone from this podcast. If you would like financial advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446. You can simply visit us at cortezwm.com. And if you just want to kind of know about our process, all you got to do is go to americafirstretirementplan.com. And you can also request a book if you just give us a call. If you're a current client, you can just give us a call. I'll sign it and ship it out to you, no cost to you. But if you're not a client and you just want a copy of the book, all you got to do is book a phone call with us. That's my offer. This book basically talks about why your money isn't safe, why you're not getting consistent rate of returns, hence the podcast name, title today, and a thumbnail, and why investments are not being in America anymore, and why they are probably will be very soon. And people just don't have access to they like and trust. I mean, how many times you spoke with an advisor and they just don't seem like they're on the same page as you? Ask your advisor, what do I do on a crashing dollar? Ask your advisor, what do you do in 2008? Ask your advisor, are you vaccinated? Ask your advisor, how many times you go to church? Ask your advisor, what do you think about Pfizer and Amazon? What do you think about all these things? What do you think about Trump? Did you vote for Biden? Like, you can ask these questions. It's uncomfortable, but growth comes when you're uncomfortable. So, I'm just excited to work with God-fearing patriots that believe in what I believe in. I don't have to fake. I don't have to act a certain way. And I don't have to step on eggshells because you guys get me and I get you. And I think that's so important to have an advisor that believes in what you believe in. If they're the captain of your ship and you're going to a place that you do not want to go to, then why are you on that ship? It doesn't make any sense. So, give us a call. We want to help you. 813-448-3446. We are excited about our new listeners. And because we have a new listener group, I want to just step back about a year or two. For those of you that don't know the color of money, I'm going to put the podcast link on the description, kind of put it up high. Watch that podcast. That's going to give you a ton of information. What is green money? What is yellow money? What is red money? Why do we always talk about red money? And for those of you that don't know, red money is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. You have no control. There is no transparency. And this is why you have fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This is why you got tricked into buying gold. This is why you got tricked into buying land and things that don't always go up. Now, gold has been a crazy investment this past year, up over 35%. We'll look at the charts here shortly. But this is why things happen, is because there is no safety net. And so when you don't have a safety net, you literally are exposed to market vulnerabilities. And so the whole thing with retirement, yes, I'm a trader. I love swing trading. I like the risky investments. I talk about options for fun. I talk about the TMFs and the QQQs and the SBITs and TNA and SPXL shorting the S&P. We talk about these things, and I'm not always right. I do lose money. But sometimes the winners outdo the losers, and that's just the market. There's always going to be a loser on one side, and there's always going to be a winner. And sometimes you're the winner and sometimes you're the loser. But that is red money. You don't have to do that when it comes to your retirement. You don't need to play that game in retirement. And unfortunately, many people listening to this have an Edward Jones account, a UBS account, a 401k or Empower Network, Fidelity, all these things that are invested in red money. And you wonder why. Oh my goodness, Trump is going to raise the tariffs. Oh my goodness, inflation is not cooling off. Oh my goodness, the mortgage crisis is here. The student loans crisis, and Social Security is going to panic, and we're not going to have Social Security. All these things because there's no plan in place. You see, we already planned for all of this. We already planned for a crashing dollar. We already planned for a bank failure. We already planned for a high hyperinflation scenario. We already planned for deflation. We already planned for a Chinese takeover. We already planned for the CBDC. We already planned. We have planned because we don't want to act anti 2 Timothy 1:7. For I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind. We don't have fear when it comes to our money. We don't have fear when it comes to the anxiety of, am I going to run out of money? Am I going to have enough income in retirement? My spouse just passed away. What am I going to do? We don't have that fear because we have plans in place. And if you have any of those concerns, give us a call, 813-448-3446. We really want to help you. We want to give you a plan so that when life does hit, you are not basically blindsided by the rules of life. The absolute truth is that you will die. The absolute truth is you'll have haircuts and taxes. Can we get away from it? Yeah, we could. There's some ways you can get away from the taxations. You'll never be able to buy a home using other people's money. You'll never be able to borrow. But yeah, you can walk away from taxes. And maybe Trump will do that for you. Maybe that's why these tariffs are so attractive right now. Maybe he is wanting to impose a way to get rid of the IRS. Maybe before 1913, there was a way, 13 years ago, there was no taxation. There was just tariffs. And so there's different types of tariffs. There's tariffs that you can impose on the border with the fentanyl. There's tariffs that you can impose if your product is bad and America deserves a better product. There's tariffs that you can impose that these people are not buying our cars. Why do Americans prefer BMWs and Mercedes-Benz over Ford? There's tariffs on that. And so all we're doing is what? We're flexing. We're flexing our muscle because Trump is America first. And I don't want to get into like some of the things that we disagree on. I'm not a big fan of the vaccine, yet he vaccinated people. Hey, that's his prerogative. But I want to talk about the markets. I want to be balanced on all this. And and like I said in this podcast, I've been convicted on is we're not here to promote hate. We're not here at all to promote hate. We just want to be intellectually sound. We want to have peace and sound mind, and we are passionate. But that doesn't mean we have to include hate. And so we're not going to do that here. We're going to talk mathematically and intellectually and conceptually about what is really happening. The theories could go on and on and on, but you know what? Just like in the weight room, you're pumping up gains, the mirror doesn't lie. When you're at the doctor and you check your blood, the blood doesn't lie. When we are looking at the charts of what really is going on, is the dollar crashing? How many times have people bought precious metals thinking the dollar was going to crash and it actually went up? It was other things. So the yields are going up, prices are going down on bonds. And guess what? I just told you guys last year, and you looked at me like if I was a lunatic. I said interest rates could raise this year. They could actually rise interest rates this year when the whole thing, the whole economy knows that we need lower interest rates. We're tired of paying 7.25% for mortgages. We're tired of paying $8 for eggs. We're tired of paying $3.50 for diesel, $4 at sometimes. We're tired of it, man. We're tired at borrowing money at unridiculous rates. Credit card debt, like credit card debt is massive right now because inflation. The wages are not keeping up with inflation, so people are getting into credit card debt. All-time 401k withdrawals have been happening for the past for the past 5 years. What's even more scarier is since the wages are not keeping up, is if you look at the mortgages, the mortgage applications are way down. Properties inventory are up 80% just here in Tampa, Florida. The condo market is failing miserably because not only are the prices going down, but HOAs are going up and people can't even afford the HOAs. It's terrible. I mean, my property in Margaritaville, I have two of them and legit $600 each. I'm paying $1,200 a month in HOA fees. It's wild. Like, who can afford that? So I want to just bring reality to you. But more importantly, my focus is giving you the opportunity, giving you an olive branch to talk to someone that believes in what you believe in. You are not wrong for your experiences. You are not wrong for thinking what you want to think. The problem is that most of the advisors that you talk to are so one-track minded. They align themselves with their company and not with you. Is what my experience is. They align themselves with their past experiences that align with their company and their public traded shareholders. So if you're with a big bank, if you're with a very, very popular bank, ask your current advisor, hey, are we a public traded company? Is your interest completely sold out to me, or is it to the shareholders and your bosses? And then do an introspect on the products that you own. If you own a company's product, I don't want to say different companies, then how do we know that that company's product that they only offer is the best thing in the industry? It's like shoe shopping. If I worked at Macy's, and I said, hey guys, we're going to go shopping. Tell me what sports you like, what events you have coming up. What do you like to do? And I said, well, we're just going to stay at Macy's and we're going to go to Macy's. We're going to go to the mall, but we're going to Macy's, that department store. They got everything. They got nice shoes. They got basketball shoes. Do they have cleats? I don't think they have cleats. What if I like to play ice hockey and I want different types of shoes to walk into the rink? What if I'm a gardener? What if I want like comfortable shoes? I don't care to keep nice and clean. We are going to shop around the mall and we're going to customize the best shoe that fits. And it might not be Macy's. It might be Clark's. It might be Foot Locker, which they're going belly up. Champs. Wherever. It might be Nordstrom's. I don't know. But that's how the financial world works. If a guy is recommending one company and he works at that company, chances are it's a BS product and he's just pushing a product, he or she. So be careful with that. And I see a lot of that from clients. And so what we want to do is have an open architecture. Hey, let's find the best asset class. Let's find the best companies in certain areas. If you want cleats, if you want high heels, if you want stilettos, if you want walking shoes, if you want hiking boots, if you want dress shoes, if you want running shoes, let's find the best asset, the best store, the best product that has been tried and true and that has performance tables to quantify it and qualify it. That's the same thing with your investments. And so the financial landscape really depends on who your advisor is. Like, what are you being fed? And this is why we don't have stable returns. How on earth are you going to get stable returns when you're just buying the same Van Eaton or American funds? You are subject to that money manager's objective. With Franklin Templeton, Hey, and I love Franklin Templeton. My kids have their 529 with them. I grew up in the industry promoting Franklin Templeton. So I got a lot of respect for their performance and their history. But let me tell you, the Franklin Income Fund, when I was offering that, when I was a kid in the industry, I kid you not, their prospectus said 80% of the time the fund must be vested. I kid you not. So there's a stock market collapse. 80% of that fund has to be invested per prospectus. How many money managers of mutual fund money managers have the same verbiage in those prospectuses? Guys, this is the definition of red money. And so when you have red money, you have no control. You have unlimited losses. You have unlimited gains. Imagine in 2008, you took a cruise with your family and you're retired. It's a retirement party and you're 65 years old and it's May of 2020. I'm sorry, it's May of 26 of 2008. You took a cruise and you came back in June. You literally lost 40% of your money. The market literally crapped itself. Lehman Brothers went down. Merrill Lynch and Merrill Lynch was bought out by Bank of America. Washington Mutual closed their doors. It was wild. Ben Bernanke at the time had a egg on his forehead. It was one of the most craziest times in history, in recent history. It was signs of the Great Depression that was happening. And I was just a little kid in the industry, just starting out, and everyone thought I was crazy. I remember the advisors in my office. I worked a corporate job. The advisors in my office at that time in 2008 did not stay in the office. They were in a parking lot throwing a football because the calls were just so rambunctious. I mean, they were just nonstop. And we were told to keep people in the stock market, to stay in it, not to sell. And people wouldn't even sell. They would just go back door and lose all this money and sell and close accounts. And they never called back. But I was that little kid answering the phone, trying to be hopeful for them and say, hey, this is a market meltdown. I'll do whatever you want, but the best thing to do is to stay in it. I mean, yeah, it's going to push back 3 to 5 years, your financial horizon, but we have to stay put. And that is the language with red money. Up until there's green money. Green money is going to have unlimited gains, no losses. You have full control. There are insurance-based accounts and privatized accounts, anti-CBDC. Your money is protected, and all the interest that you make will be locked in, insured, and guaranteed. This is green money. Wall Street does not want you to know about green money. And this is why people are not getting stable returns, is because there's no bumper rails. When you go bowling, you want to put those bumper rails so that you can hit the pins. We can do the same exact thing with your financial accounts. We have bumper rails that in case the market goes down, you're protected, period. And if the market goes up, great, we're throwing strikes at the bowling alley. It's really that simple. Now, the unfortunate part is that you have this crazy close relationship with your advisor. Maybe, I don't know. And maybe they go to your church. Maybe they're in your kid's soccer team. Maybe they're on the traveling hockey team. I don't know. Maybe they're your neighbor. But how important is that relationship compared to your life savings? I hear it all the time. I've been doing this for 20 years now. I got gray hairs on my beard. Like, I can prove my gray hairs. But I've heard every story. And I've seen most investments. I former stockbroker, have a general securities license. Unfortunately, I had the communistic FINRA Series 7 that I had to let go because I no longer want to be a stockbroker. I no longer want to do red money. I no longer want to pinnacle people and pigeonhole them into red money. I know about it. I trade about it, but that doesn't mean you should be in it. And for those of clients that are okay with the risk, God bless you. You literally set aside money that you can afford to lose. You set aside money that you can afford to gamble with and take risk. Not gamble, but calculated risk. And hey, if it works out, great. Maybe you listen to my show and say, you know what? I like that VIXY. I like that TNA. I like the TQQQs. And we'll talk about stocks and ETFs all day, every day, because I love that stuff, man. Like, it fires me up. I love all those patterns that I'm learning with my mastermind group, and I could share this information. I love all this stuff. But what I love more is actually being a vessel to you. What I love more is being an impact, not financially, but spiritually. And that's why Scriptures and Wall Street is really, really close to me. I'm very passionate about it because at the end of the day, I get to use what people all have in common. No one wants to lose money, everybody wants to make money, but I could focus that development on the cross. And so my whole aim for this podcast is that your name is written in the book of life. The money doesn't matter. The money's going to go away. Spouses will die. We will get disease. We will either get sick, die too young, or too late. That is the absolute truth. And there's no U-Haul at any funeral. Any funeral I've been to, I've never seen a U-Haul. You can't bring this stuff with you guys. You will die and your life is a vapor. And God has promised us to not worry, to not have anxiety. God has promised us that if we can keep his commandments, he has plans to prosper us, not to harm us. And it's a beautiful thing when we can rest upon all of our anxieties onto him and he guides us. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just say this quick prayer like, Jesus, I'm a sinner. I need you in my life. I am a sinner. I can't do this without you. Come into my heart and change me, Lord. If you can say that prayer, he will forgive you for all your sins and you can start a new life, a financial life, a spiritual life, a new social life, a new life free of addictions, a new life free of anything that's have a stronghold. Because Satan wants more. Satan wants to destroy, to kill, to devour you, your family, your financial success, your income, your health, and more importantly, your faith. So us men, we have to man up. We have to put that armor on. We have to read our word every single day. And there's days where I don't feel like reading. There's days I don't feel like spending my 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the morning with Jesus. But one thing I always say is, God, what demon can I piss off today? Give me the strength to fight the demon because I can't fight him alone. But what demon can I piss off today in your name? And it will come. It sure as heck will come. That is the daggone truth. Anyways, so the name of this podcast is Why People Aren't Getting Consistent Returns. Wanted to show you, I've been talking about the NASDAQ so much, but I want to introduce you to one of my favorite indices. And the reason why it is one of my favorite indices, and you can only get it in a green money account, is very simply put, this is what's called the transition index. Now, the transition index is extremely powerful. It's only available on a certain green money account. I'm not here to disclose names, but you can give us a call if you like what I'm about to say resonates with you. You can give us a call, 813-448-3446. Just tell Cindy, Josh, Raz, whoever picks up the phone, say, hey, I like that transition index. How do I get started? And we will plug you in. This index is extremely powerful, guys. What I love about this index is it has 4 components. The 4 components are simple. It's treasuries, which is kind of like cash that pays income. Commodities, so think eggs, pork bellies, coffee, sugar, orange juice, inflationary things that go up when inflation is high. There's the S&P 500, which of course you know what that is. It's the bricks and mortar, the strongest 500 companies in America, which I would argue in the world. And then there's the NASDAQ, our baby, which is going to be high driven in tech, high driven in healthcare tech, just AI focused, magnificent 7. Think of NASDAQ, powerful, exhilarant growth. Now we have these 4 corridors. So when the S&P 500 does well, typically the NASDAQ does well, it can go equities. if the economy is booming and tariff money is coming in and people are spending more money because they're not paying so much in taxes, business owners are able to expand because they don't have this nagging tax bill at the state or federal level, then this is going to be massive. The S&P will grow. People will spend money at the Wally Worlds, at the Targets, at the malls. Technology will continue to thrive even through the healthcare space and AI space. So this index has ability to go full-blown equity 60-40 with a balance of 60-40 equity between the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. But if there is a crisis, it has ability to shift into treasuries and hide in a cave, so to speak, with an AR-15, water, food, toilet paper, and just hide out and collect the income. And this is what the treasury space is. If inflation continues to be bad, like interest rates may go up this year. They already said that they're not going to go down. And the PPI just came out today. We'll take a look at that. It's up. So it could go up. And if that's the case and inflation is terrible, then guess what? Commodities will do well. So now we have the ability to make money in any scenario. Terrorist attack, stock market failure, we're going to go to treasuries. Complete growth, Trump is kicking ass all over the place, and we have growth, S&P and NASDAQ. AI takes off, NASDAQ. CBDCs everywhere, and they need financial fintech control, NASDAQ. All hell breaks loose, and we need complete safety, treasury. Inflation is off the roof, commodities. So having this rotator index that can go from safety to equity, and not just safety, but income and safety, and having all this balance 24/7, hands-free. Ask your advisor, how the heck can I get access to the transition index, a rotator index, with no fees, and verify it for 20 plus years that this account has done very well? Ask your current advisor, where can I get something like this? And if you have a red money advisor, he's going to laugh at you. He said, what are you smoking? Because I want some of that. Like, what are you talking about, Mr. Jones? That's idiotic. Nothing exists like that. And that's how you know you have an advisor that is stuck in his own ways. And so is your retirement, in my opinion. So what does that look like mathematically, quantitatively speaking? We get so many calls, and I love it because I'm able to transform your portfolio back. And so let me tell you like how this is. In 2003, these are real verified numbers. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You guys get that. I understand. But legally, I have to speak in legalese, financialese. In 2003, the junk made 24.5%. In 2004, 17%. 2005, 5%. 2006, a 12%, a 9%. In 2008, it only lost 14%. The market was down 42. So even in these red numbers, guys, you make a 0. The following year was a 12, a 20, a 8.5, a 10, a 21, a 30, another negative year at 2014. So you got a 0, you lose nothing. So whenever we get these zeros, the following years are just impeccable. You get a 8, 8.25, a 40% in 2017, 2018, another year on tariffs. We were down 5%. You got a 0. The following year, a 35, a 28, and a 25. So what's interesting, in 2018, when the war on tariffs were out, when Trump got in, yeah, we had a bad year. And it could be this year as well. We had a bad reset year of negative 5%. The following year was a 35, a 28, a 25. Then Joe Biden stuff came in, and obviously 22, we lost 20%. The following year, it was 23. Last year wasn't a good year for this index. It was 2.35. Already, we are up 1% because of this rotator index. So if you haven't received these returns, if your portfolio has never experienced these returns, give us a call, because these are what we've been doing. Our clients are making 100% of this with no fees. So if you have mutual funds, if you have red money, you're paying fees. If you have stocks, you're paying fees to buy and sell out of it. And there's no seatbelt, there's no bumper rails, there's nothing. You are completely at risk. What if the stock market was to collapse 25%? Are you okay with that? If the stock market goes down 20, 30%, our clients are laughing because they know the following year it's going to pop up. They know they're going to be licking their ice cream saying, man, this tastes sweet. When are we going to the bank? Because they're getting paid. I want you to have that confidence. So for me and my wife, we put 100 grand into this when I was 40. I'm 41 now. In 19 more years, I'm projected to have over $4 million in this account. I'm simply just going to take 5-6% out for the rest of my life, $250,000 just on this account. And then hopefully when God calls me home, the account should be, I don't know, $5-6 million, $8 million. We'll gift that to my children. My children don't touch it for another 30, 40 years. That $5-10 million would be worth over $100 million. They too will live off 5-6% for the rest of their life, and they would have $250,000 each. That $250,000 gets passed on to my great grandchildren. They're starting with $250,000. They're getting their life funded at early age, and they're only taking 5-6% out. That $250,000 is $500 million, $500 million. And this is how you build generational wealth. But it starts with you. It starts with making the phone call. It starts with creating an environment for your family to succeed so you can get the money game out of the way. And maybe you can physically walk away from taxation because you're self-insured. You don't need to borrow money. You don't need to show financial income because you are your own bank. And so that's what the whole thing about this is, that with green money, it is a legacy building, massive generational wealth product that you can pass on to your families. And so this is why I've done it on a 6-year-old. You can put 20 grand in, and it's worth over $1 million by the time they're like 55 years old. It's insane, guys. Like, this is so powerful to have the ability to have no risk and no fees. Wall Street does not want you to know about this. They do not make money off of these programs. They don't make money off of green money. And when they do, they bastardize it. They put it in red money and say it's safe, and it's not. And they charge you all these fees, and there's all these like dinner seminars and product presentations and all these things that they have to pay for, 12B1 fees. And this is how the brokers make their money, because they get side money from all of these banks that want to promote red money products that basically you lose a lot of money. And a lot of these programs are the ones that advertise during the Super Bowl. What in the world is a financial company advertising during the Super Bowl? Where do you think they're getting that money from? It's not from their own pocketbook. It's from yours. They literally are feeing you so they can pay the Super Bowl ads. And I don't even know what they cost anymore. The Super Bowl was a joke, obviously. Who wants to watch Taylor Swift? I don't. It's disgusting. But this is what it is, guys. Like, this is so powerful. Now, I know I've been talking for a while on this, but I cannot stress enough, like, why people are not getting consistent rates of return. And it's because of many, many things, but they are just in red money. And so when you have red money, unfortunately, it becomes very tough, guys, when you don't have green money working for you. So I'm gonna shift gears here. For those of you that stayed on this long, I'm gonna open up the charts, the fun stuff. We're gonna take a look at some past talks here. What's happening with BTC? What's happening with TMF? What's happening in the markets? Carlos, talk to me. Shut up about this green money stuff. I'll get to it, baby. Just wait. So let's start with the S&P. S&P 500, still smoking. Things are looking good. We have some consolidation here, obviously. We have trends going up. We know that indicators are lagging, but my indicators are pretty good, as good as they are. We have a buy signal January 25th, and it's still going up. We are, I like to look at the weekly and kind of pan out throughout the years. We are in this trend, guys. We are in this massive trend that is not dying down. And we have already experienced an extended rally, which we're in right now. So these bears could come at any point. So don't be surprised if we see, and it could be a bad inflation report. It could be mortgages, applications. It could be anything where we could just see this touch. And the volatility index right now is at 15. Guys, when it goes over 18, that's when we start to see volatility and market meltdowns. But right now, it's at a healthy 14, 15 right now. We'll talk about VIXY here shortly. But the S&P 500 is continuing to grow. Now, there is a lot of sentiment, negative sentiment because of Trump with the tariffs. But I really think it's going to be a good thing. We are going to have a very uncomfortable transition. You're going to see inflation rise. You're going to see probably interest rates rise. You'll probably see gas go up and consumer goods go up and farmers complain and soybeans and this and that. It's going to get uncomfortable. But as I showed you in previous history, and of course, past results is not indicative of future results, but we're airing the dirty laundry, and we're going to have a setback. Now, will the setback come in the financial markets? It could, but it definitely is going to come at the pump. It definitely is going to come from the form of wages. But we got to unravel all the junk the idiots did the past 4 years. The pro-communists, the Chinese Americans, the stupid Biden administration is what I'm getting at. Let me just call it for what it is. But this is the S&P 500, guys. This is America at its finest. We will prevail. Let's not forget that America is a top dog. America, don't turn your back on. Doesn't matter who's in office. It's looking better now, and we're going to be a lot stronger. Oh, and speaking about stronger, have you guys checked out the dollar? Have you checked out the dollar? Actually, I don't like that one. Let's go to this chart. The dollar has been smoking. So we got a blue cross in October 23rd. Obviously, Trump got in. It's been going down with the volatility, as you know, because this is why gold went to 3,000 recently, because dollar was going down just a hair, but now it's spiking back up. And since last year, this dollar has been taking off like it is. Like the countries can't even keep up with it. So the dollar is increasing. Trump has been smacking up the BRICS countries. Like if you took money from us and you're in the BRICS, you are going to get your ass kicked and handed right back to you. Like he ain't playing games. I have a buddy in South Africa. He was telling me that they were killing the white Africans over there in South Africa. And, you know, we gave them $9 billion. And now here they are backstabbing us, joining the BRICS, trying to de-dollarize our dollar. China's done it. India's done it. We sent the Indian immigrants back to them, shackled them to the airplane chairs, and now they're saying humanity rights are playing victim card. But all of a sudden, they're cooperating. All of a sudden, China wants to cooperate. All of a sudden, Brazil and Russia, they want to cooperate. I'm telling you, the BRICS are not going to work. I don't care what anyone says. As long as we have a driver in office, the American dollar will continue to rise. I know many conspiracy guys. Look, we're all conspiracy theorists, right? But many people on the right side believe the dollar is going to crash. I don't believe that. I don't believe in this I believe there will be a financial reset, but it will not come in the form of American dollar crash. If that happens, guys, and gold is your only source, you got bigger problems than money. Like, where's your hand combat skills? Where's your farmer skills? Where's your survival skills? Do you think we'll get back to that technology of losing everything? I don't think so. I don't think that's realistic. But you should be prepared as a man. You should be prepared to fight. You should be prepared to produce, to farm, to protect. I don't think we're going to go back to that situation. But damn sure we got to be prepared. Get you a gun safe, get ammo. Those are the precious metals I'll be buying. Let's see here. So for those of you that love the NASDAQ, like as me, NASDAQ is just smoking. All green, baby, all green. Market structure looks great. But once again, we want to look at the long term. Look at this massive bull run. A golden cross back in March of 23. We are now 2 years later. The average bull run is around 24 months. So we're at that 24-month mark, and we're still climbing. We're still having massive momentum. I get another buy signal in January. So we are in extended rally. At any point, this could just go kapoots. This could go kapoots. And so this is where I tell you, you need to have insurance on your money. You need to protect yourself. You cannot just say, I want to buy stocks and I'm going to ride it out and be retired at 65. You will get hurt. You will get hurt. If you're in red money, you will get hurt. That's a daggone guarantee. You will get hurt. The stocks will go down. I just don't know when. Right now, market structure looks great. The momentum looks great. Everything looks perfect. We got green clouds, all-time high, healthy retracements. I mean, the waves are just getting big. One wave there is big. Look at this wave here. A shorter wave here. A similar wave before the previous wave. Like, there's no loss of momentum here. The NASDAQ is just really, really kicking off. And if you saw back in 21, it took a massive hit. So we could see this dip all over again. I just don't want you guys to lose when this happens. So we were just talking about the QQQs. What about VIXY? For those of you that have been following VIXY, VIXY goes over the volatility index as the ETF. Right now we're at 41. We got it should go down a little more, and it's going to hit this new bottom. And then once this pops up, man, this is going to be a massive, massive, massive trade. For those of you that want a six-figure risky trade, this is probably one of the trade of the year. You want to buy some call options at 100. I haven't pulled up the options calculator, but throw a few grand in it if you can afford to lose it. Again, not investment advice, but VIXY will be great when the market does tank. The other one that I love is TMF. For those of you that understand, that have been listening to me for a while, you know I've been a big fan of TMF. We've gotten a bump recently on TMF from 38 to 41. Is probably going to be a massive trade when this thing pops. So as you know, interest rates could rise, and that will bring this down even lower, hypothetically speaking. But we had a lower interest rates, and it actually went down. So being an advisor doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, when you raise interest rates, your bond prices are supposed to go down. When you lower interest rates, your bond prices are going up. But now they're talking about raising interest rates again, and it's going back up. So either way, this going to have to, the bond prices are actually going to have to come up. So eventually, so I'm comfortable doing January 2026 calls, maybe even later than January 2026. They're only going to, quote unquote, raise interest rates probably twice this year, or even talks about it. So it's potentially that you could lose all your money in this trade. So be very cautious. But for those of you that are in this trade, this will be a very, very profitable trade if you're willing to take the risk of losing everything that you put in. But it's one of those trades that you got to be comfortable with just losing it all. And that's why I like the call options at 100. You can get them at pretty cheap right now. But this is a banger trade for if the stock market does collapse. People are going to run to treasuries, which is going to increase the value of those bonds. And so TMF is a really, really cool leverage ETF. So it's risky, guys. It's TLT basically. So the 20-year treasury is based off the TLT. So if you don't like the leverage, but you still like the yield play, you could buy TLT and get 1 for 1 versus TMF is basically TLT times 3. So this is TLT. It's a lot safer to get into this because it's not leverage, and it's the same price chart, guys. Same price chart. This is about 88. We're looking at possibly a 115 here. So same mathematical percentage is going up. So TLT. Also, real quick, want to talk about Bitcoin. So we see this little drawdown here on Bitcoin. And what I like about this Bitcoin is that, forgive my text here, but what I like about Bitcoin is that it's gone up and we're seeing this price correction here. I'm thinking it might even come down to this new low of 85. And so Bitcoin eventually will go up, but it does do these bear market rallies and it will breathe. And so for those of you that actually want to short Bitcoin, this is a pretty cool trade setup where Bitcoin, so this actually makes money when Bitcoin goes down. Again, a risky leverage play. If you want to lose money long term, then invest in this. But this is only for when Bitcoin goes down. This makes money when it goes up, or this goes up when Bitcoin goes down. So it's an inverse relationship. And as you see, there's a little green pop here. There's a red cloud. There's a lot of momentum of Bitcoin going up, which is going down. But like anything else, you want to buy when it's low. And right now it's a very, very, very low, all-time low, actually. And so when Bitcoin does crash, this is going to go up. And I believe that Bitcoin will go down and we should hedge ourselves. So this is going to be a great play for those of you that actually want to be in a leverage ETF and make money when Bitcoin goes down. Again, maybe a trade for 3 or 4 weeks. Personally, I have $11 call options on this. So when it hits $11, my options will be in the money. I'm willing to lose whatever I paid for those options. They were, I believe, $1 a week ago. Whenever I did my last podcast, I said I'm going to put a little money in it. So I only put like two or three grand in. Sometimes I can afford to lose. And if it hits, great. If not, then oh well. And so that's the thing with these like shot calls is that you got to be okay with losing because some of these winners are 10, 20 times what you put in. So the losers are going to happen, but the winners are really going to supersede the losers. So that's part of trading. That's part of swing trading, as you guys know. And guess what? This is the red money bucket that we can play in. For those of you that are retired and need help with your retirement, we don't play in this space. We only talk about green money. And so when we have green money, we can afford to take risk and play funny trades and play with the markets. So speaking of green money, this is a great account. This is a great account of what green money looks like. So imagine you're 50, you're 59, going on 60 years old. You got 400,000. The average client has 400,000 or 500,000. And you said, Carlos, I want to have this transition index working for me. I want to have safe money. I want to grow my accounts, set it, forget it, because when I want to retire, I just want to live off the interest. I want to live off my withdrawals, and I don't want to touch my principal. Great, you've come to the right place. So what this looks like is that if you're 6 years old, just on $400,000, let's just say the market collapses the first 3 years of your retirement. Very, very, very realistic. You still lose nothing. You still have your 400 grand. But the following year, it made a ton of money of 34%. We went from 400,000 to 536. The following year, another 80%. The reason why you see zero is because we use a 2-year method, and another 21%. In 10 years, your 400,000 is now 1.1 million. You could take your 5% out for the rest of your life, or 10% out for the rest of your life. You're living over 100 grand a year, never even touching your principal. This is green money, guys. This is the power that you can have that you're not going to get with, unfortunately, you're not going to get with red money advisors. And this is what we can do. We can help you protect your principal. We can help you grow your accounts with America First companies that didn't vaccinate their employees, that don't believe in all the red money things and the lack of transparencies. All you have to do is be okay with having access to 10% of this bucket of money. Because if you go over 10%, you will get smacked with a penalty, and that penalty goes down every single year. And when you call and we see that this is a suitable account for you for maybe a portion of your money, we can go over that. Now, we are not a great fit for everybody. If you're a Democrat or if you don't believe in what I believe in, I'm probably not going to do business with you. Just because I'm a man of faith and I love Jesus does not mean I have to cater to your feelings. So if that's you, all good. We can shake hands. Feel free to listen to what I have to say if you want, but that does not mean I have to do business with you. And for those of you that are calling to troll and hate and email, I won't even respond. And I'm not here to cater to your feelings. Like, seriously, you can call me and waste my company's time. You're going to hear back because we are loyal to our clients. We're loyal to our mission. We know what works. We've been doing this for 20 years. And we just want to help God-fearing patriots grow their accounts, because if they can grow their accounts, they can focus on things that matter, like their family, their kids, their wife, going to soccer games, enjoying retirement, volunteering their time at the kids' school, chaperoning. There's so much stuff that the mission is bigger than us. We have blessed a retiree that wants to go to med school so that he can learn dentistry, so he could go to Haiti and fix cleft lip and help these kids have dental work. Like, these are the powerful things we could do when we are literally focused on being a steward of our money. So if that's you, give us a call. And I actually want to talk about something pretty powerful real quick. Now, for those of you that are interested in personal development and growing, and maybe that's losing weight, maybe that's focus, maybe that's just being a better person, I want to introduce a product that I've been taking for the past 60 days, that I've lost weight in, that have mental clarity, the brain fog is gone. And we are talking about an American-made company that has ability to change your life. I want to introduce GetMeLeanUSA.com to you, because these peptides have helped us. For those of you that are on Ozempic or Mounjaro, you don't need to be on that. You can simply just manage your blood sugar through your own medications. You don't need a horrific muscle-eating, semaglutide, destructive product eating your bones and your intestines. So for those of you that are trying to lose weight and say, I want the shot, then get on these plant-based peptides so that you can grow your fitness goals and have the ability to lose weight and can take control of your life, walk away from the diseases that probably haunt you. Go to getmeleanusa.com. The link is below, and get you some of these amazing, amazing peptides that will help you achieve your fitness goals. Here are some before and afters of me. Here are before and afters of dozens of people that have tried. And I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing from you guys about these, because I'm on it personally. My family's on it. My wife's on it. And they have done nothing short of a miracle for us. So if you guys know, I've lost a lot of weight, and it's because of peptides in general. But these are plant-based peptides, and they're going to work if you stick with it. So John 15, 4-11, remain in me as I remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me, I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that's thrown in the withers, such as branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me, my words remain in you. Ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to my disciples. As Father has loved me, so I have loved you. So now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that you may have joy be in you, and that your joy may be complete. I love that. And look, I'm not here to talk about you can lose your salvation. I'm not here to have a theological debate. All he is saying, if we can keep his commands, we will have joy in him. And that's really what this is about. Just remain in him. And so my goal is to encourage you to remain in his love, embrace his words, embrace his commands, embrace Jesus, embrace the Lord our Savior, so that you can have infinite joy. That literally he says, ask me for anything and it will be given to you. Like, how many times does he say that in God's word? Like in Malachi 3, he says, try me in this when you tithe, that I'll pour out your blessings that you can't even contain, that your cup will overflow it. I mean, there's so many references where we can talk about God's promises. So it is my hope that you accept them in your heart. It's my hope that whatever you're at in life, no matter what sin you have, that you can ask Jesus to cleanse your heart, that you could walk away from anything and remain in his love. But with that being said, guys, love y'all. God bless. And don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Go to CortezWM.com to book your appointment with us. You can scan the QR code here. And also you can visit us at AmericanFirstRetirementPlan.com. Don't forget to check us out. God bless, and we'll talk soon.